I was raised around criminals, real criminals, gangsters.
Right.
And there's a couple rules. One, you don't talk about how a guy earns his money.
Okay.
You don't talk about who a guy's fucking unless the guy owes you money or he's fucking someone that you're fucking. Then you can talk to him about it.
Okay.
Other than that, it's not your business.
All right.
You shut the hell up.
Those are some good rules.
Those are good rules to follow. It's not my business. That's why I have an ulcer, because I know when to say I don't give a fuck. It's not my business, right? It's like it's not my. I worry about me and mine, and I worry about what lessons that I'm teaching my son via my actions.
Yeah. I am Josh Galindo. I've built several successful businesses utilizing the one tool everybody has, the mind. I am here to guide, coach, and prepare you. We will debate, discuss, and grow our minds together so you can obtain your own success. Fuck average, be legendary. This is my podcast. Donovan, what's happening? Thanks for being here.
Dude, I'm glad. I'm honored to be here, man. It's been a lot of fun watching you guys. I did a little review before I came up here. I'm like, all right, I can roll with these guys. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the whole concept of be legendary, man.
Yeah.
Don't fuck around. Let's get up every single day and make it happen.
Yep.
Let's be epic.
You know what my logic there is be legendary to me is that I just, mainly for my kids and then the people that I meet.
Yes.
Is how do I leave just a little piece of me with every person I meet? And that's just a little piece of me with the people I meet in general. But for my kids, like it's a full intention. I want to be considered legendary and for sure having left a legacy when I go.
100%.
That's super important to me.
Man, this is it's a huge topic for me as well. My family, we have discussions about this, and the discussion came with my kids, my twins. We broke a curse with my twins, and the curse was my twins were the first kids in my family, at least in 4 generations, born to mom and dad being married.
Ooh, beautiful.
So we broke. So
that
we had to break
gave me
that.
the
So
chills.
that's the first thing we had to break that. The second thing was we break this notion that we can't leave a legacy for our kids. Right? Obviously, we want to leave more in them than we leave for them.
Yeah.
Right. But we also want to leave things for them.
Yeah.
Right? And so we've already begun to do that. We set up trust and all these other things. And these are conversations that were not had around the table when I grew up.
Sure.
Because my parents were on the grind. They were trying to survive and trying to make it happen. And if it's not part of your conversation with your kids, and it's not part of, as a man, as a husband, as a father, if it's not part of your ethos, it can easily slip by because you start acquiring things for yourself and not really thinking about, well, what happens later when my kid comes to me and says, hey, you know what, maybe I don't want to go to a 4-year school, but Dad, I have this business idea and, I'm going to need some startup. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about your balance sheet. Let's talk about where your presentation is. Let's talk about what your sales pitch, give me your minute. And that we're talking about these things around the table now. My son sits in on meetings with me now within my business, and here's how we talk and here's how we get things done. So I'm already planning in his head, look, you can do what you want to do. Don't be like everyone else who kind of get forced into something. I want you to look at the world as a buffet and you pick out what you want to get out of it. And then I will always support it if it's sound. I'd much rather spend that money in investing in your dreams than throw it away at a college and say, here's $200,000 and go drink and party for 4 years and come out and go get a job not in your field that you studied.
That's the most frightening part about college to me is that as parents, I have little kids. You told me you have a 16-year-old.
16-year-old, we have boy, girl twins, yeah.
Oh, you just have a boy and a girl?
Yeah,
they're
and then
twins.
I've got my oldest daughter's 25.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you spend 25 years in your case on one.
Yeah.
Sculpting their minds, everything you just described, trying to ensure that they, make the right decisions and they can be self-sufficient and they're contributing members of society and they value the things that, and then you pay this fucking school to like infect their brain. Yeah. Like that's like what college has become, it's to me, everything you just said resonated so beautifully. I want to, however I save for their college, I want to do exactly what you just said. If they come to me with a great business idea, even if it's an okay business idea, I'd rather them learn all those tough lessons.
Yes.
And go and attempt it. Or if they come to me and go, Dad, I want to be an attorney.
Yeah.
Dad, I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Well, we know what that means. It probably means school.
Right.
Okay. I'll support you in that space too.
Sure.
Fully agree with everything you just said.
Yeah. Listen, in my community, in African-American community, we have, obviously when people talk about, the history of our people in the country, look, economically has been where we suffered the most.
Okay, agreed.
And so I tell people this all the time. Like, everyone wants to talk about slavery and the civil rights movement because that's what's pushed. But I always tell people, look, if we take, we're talking about really a 400-year period, right? Take the 300 years of slavery and 100 years of Jim Crow. The 100 years of Jim Crow was far more economically damaging to black people than slavery ever was.
Ooh.
Far more damaging because there was actual economic terrorism supported by the government against black people, redlining and all the things that we talk about in real estate, right? So what's the number one indicator of your level of your education in the United States? The primary contributing factor is your zip code. Where you live is going to determine the quality of your education. Because how are they funded? Property taxes. So look, here in Clark County, we know that on the east side of town, we know that the property values are not as high as in Summerlin or some of the other places, correct? Right. So we also know that the schools are not funded at the same level, right? There's a direct correlation there. That's why redlining was so damaging. That's why it was so damaging. So when you think of, and by the way, it was intentional. That's intentional. And so
what do you think that was about?
Oh, no, that was clearly about at that time.
Control?
Yes, control. Not so much voting, although it was, I think a side impact was voting. But it was like, hey, look, we're going to legally segregate people because we think that maybe the mixing of people is a bad thing for us. We can't control. If everyone starts seeing each other as equal, you will not be able to control, right? And that's intentional. Also, too, you got to remember, look, when did all the lynchings and all that stuff start happening? That was not during slavery. That was after slavery. Yeah. So then what happened? They said, you know what? We don't want people living together. Everyone separate. And okay, fine. We separated. And you had these black enclaves all over America, and they were doing well. And then what happened to them? They got burned to the ground. So when people say 9/11 was the first time an airplane was ever used in a terrorist attack, that's not true. Black Wall Street airplanes were used. They were dropping grenades from.
What?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Look it up.
Man, I'm loving, you know what? I love this conversation. I just have to say this. I'm so thankful that you're willing to jump into it.
Yeah, man.
It's something that I often think and will speak about, privately. I'm afraid to be, judged or ridiculed for just having the conversation.
Yeah, no. I know. It's a completely unfair thing. Like my life is completely, when people always talk about how diverse their life is.
Wow, what a powerful thing, man. Hearing you be willing to come out with this, like you kind of shocked me.
Yeah, no, my thing is, look, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it, right? Yeah. And let's speak in facts and not feelings.
Okay.
Right? Even though we can have emotions and stirred and all these things. And yes, look, these are things that have happened historically that still impact today. You don't just get to go, well, you know what, that was a long time ago. Okay, a long time ago. So when people say to me, well, get over it, that happened to your ancestors. I'm like, you mean my mom? My mother grew up in segregated Texas. My mother. My grandmother, also from Texas. On my father's side, they're from Mississippi.
Well, no one should ever say get over it.
No, well,
but message received. I get your point.
Yeah, but this is the notion, and I know why, because people are frustrated. Look, I have white friends who are like, I'm not racist. Why does everyone try to tell me I'm racist? And I'm like, listen, man, if it doesn't apply to you, why does it bother you so much? But here's the thing. I always say, but you know a racist, don't you? You know someone, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, so a lot of my friends, they want to have this conversation.
Do you think I'm crazy to say that I don't know if I know a racist?
No, I don't think you're crazy to say it. That means that...
Is that naive? Would you say it's naive? That's bullshit? You have to know somebody?
Maybe, but maybe they're smart enough not to say it in front of you because you've already established a line that you're not going to listen to it anyway.
I like that,
right?
Yeah.
So
so that's a compliment to me.
100%.
Yeah, if they're out there.
If people who know, you can't come talk shit about one of my friends to me.
No.
I'm not an ear for it.
Agreed.
Now, if you come to me and you say, hey, I'm having a problem with John.
Sure.
Okay. Are you coming to me because you want me to patch this up? Because that's the only conversation we're having. But if you're here to talk shit about my friend John, I'm biased and I'm telling you I'm not the ear for it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, if you want to, as men, I don't think men should behave this way at all. I think it's extremely effeminate for dudes to do that. Oh. If you have a problem with a dude, talk to him. Sit down and talk to him. And listen, even if you can reach hey, man, it pissed me off when you did this. I didn't like it. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Now, if you tell me to go F myself, then I'm like, okay, so now we can't talk as men. Now you're not doing your part as a man.
Yep.
But what we're not going to do is act like
bitches.
Oh, yeah. No, we're not doing the bitch assness. Yeah. No bitch assness. I'm not doing it. And so I'm a big believer. Like, I'll step to you in a heartbeat. Now, with respect, I'll do it. Now, the thing is that that's just the way I was raised. I was raised that way. I grew up in a different place, a different time. We didn't talk shit about each other. We like, if I see you, I'm gonna step to you. And if you have a problem, then we'll handle it one way. Hopefully, we can handle it like gentlemen.
Yeah.
But if not, I'm not above. Everything's on the table, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you establish that already, and people know that from the way you do business, from the way you handle your kids, the way you deal with your wife, if people know you're not the ear for the bullshit, they're not going to come to you for it.
There you go.
They just, and by the way, I love it.
I
Keeps
own
drama
everything
away.
you just said there. That is how I operate in my world.
And that's
so
why.
That's why.
So that's why you feel like, well, I don't know anybody like that. Yeah, because they're smart enough not to say shit about it.
Yeah.
So I was
if someone came to me, not actually putting myself, if somebody came to me and I could sense that they were truly, I don't even like to say because that's almost.
No, you're like, yeah, it's
dude, I would be like, I would. It's
a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Like, whoa.
Most of
that would be my response.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where's that coming from? Like,
Yeah.
and by the way, it's not like white people own the market on racism. I think some things are misconstrued. There are certain conversations that we have within our community, that Asians have within their community, that Italians have within their community, that are totally okay to speak to the issues within their community. That's okay. How are they going to fix it?
Sure.
Oftentimes, what we hear a lot of times, like, so I suggest that for Black people, entrepreneurship and ownership are the way out.
100%.
Okay, following the immigrant model is the way out.
100%.
Right. So now look, that takes sacrifice and it takes understanding. And it takes honestly doing the opposite of what they're teaching you in school. Okay?
100%.
So a lot of people don't grasp that, and it's okay. And I have tough conversations with my folks about it. But look, the reality of it is, if you look at what immigrants have done, it works. So when I suggest that, like Chinatown is a perfect example. In Chinatown, Las Vegas, Chinatown in San Francisco, perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They control their neighborhood. Look, I cannot go into Chinatown, any Chinatown, and open up a Chinese restaurant and serve Chinese food to Chinese people. But there are Chinese business owners in Black neighborhoods serving soul food to Black people. And I'm like, hey, I'm not knocking them, but I'm going, what's wrong with us?
Sure.
What? No other neighborhood would tolerate this.
Yeah.
So why do we? That doesn't mean that I can't go to Chinatown. I go to Chinatown all the time.
Sure.
We shop there a couple times a week.
Sure.
My wife's Asian. We're like, this is what we do. So, but all that money that we spend in Chinatown bounces 30 times before it leaves the neighborhood.
Same thing with the Mormon community.
Yes.
Same thing. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Look, in Vegas, you know.
And even the wealthy, it's happening in every
section and subsection, right?
Yes, of society.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It's the way of the world. Look, when the building that I'm in right now, the owner of the building is Chinese Vietnamese. The first day I met with him, I was like, okay, Chinese Vietnamese. I call my wife. I need you to come over here and go talk to him and his wife. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing's wrong. He's Chinese Vietnamese. I want you to come talk to him. And she was like, oh, okay, what are we doing here? We're going to make this deal. We're going to make this deal happen today. We're going to get this spot, right? Okay. We did the deal. He wouldn't have done that deal had I not had my wife there with me. I know that. Does that make him racist? No. He's more comfortable doing business with people who look and sound and talk like him.
There you go.
So rather than be angry about it, play the game.
Vic. No, you played the game. Yeah, there you go.
Listen,
you were strategic about
100%.
it. You said, okay, I know. I said, yes.
I'll call him. Look, man, I have my godchildren. Some of my godchildren are white. I've got, like, you come to my house at Christmas, it goes down. Like, there's Chinese food and traditional foods, there's Filipino foods. Like, my entire life is completely that way. But guess what? It's great because now I can reach into any connection in the community and be like, hey, do you know this guy over here? Yeah, I know him. Can you do me a favor? Can you call him? Can you make an introduction?
Yeah.
And then once people speak for you, you do good business and you have integrity.
Yeah.
Then the door's open for you.
Agreed.
And what I found about successful people that people who are not successful don't know is that successful people want to help people who want to become successful. They want to help them, right? Right? They want to help them. They, like it's. Look, you have to.
I've never met a wealthy guy in my entire life that isn't willing to share what he knows.
Never.
Ever.
Never happened.
And the difference was I understood that.
Right.
So I tapped into it.
Right. And then
he was happy
questions.
to give it to me.
Yes.
And I asked questions. He was happy to answer.
Yes.
It. He wanted to fill my bucket.
When I didn't understand what's a balance sheet, how does banking work? Like why I had a very wealthy friend of mine. I went in to the bank and I showed him my portfolio and they didn't give me the loan. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I said, can you take a look at it? He's like, yeah. He's like, this is, let me try something. So he calls his banker and says, hey, this is a business that I'm going to invest in. I want you to check its viability. 30 minutes later, he calls back and goes, yeah, well, we're good. We're in. And I'm like, is it a black thing? Or is it a relationship thing? Is it an asset liability thing? Could it be all of those things?
Sure.
Here's the real issue. I don't give a shit. Get
You're
the deal done.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Get the deal done.
Yeah.
So if I got to go send my white cousin over there to go talk to this dude to get the money, go talk to him, get the fucking money, bring it back. Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't have time for the bullshit.
No.
I like when you get caught up in that stuff, when you know how the game is played, you start to realize, well, wait a minute, this is a success failure thing. And if you're going to get stopped at every corner, then it's not for you. Look, my grandfather, he was the first black man to work for the phone company in Anchorage, Alaska. He was a lineman. He hung telephone line. And he went up there in the 60s, late 50s, early 60s. The road wasn't even paved yet. When I was a kid, we drove that road, the Alcan, the Alaska Canadian Highway, dirt road. It wasn't even paved yet. It was a rough ride up there. And I watched this guy get up and go to work every single day, never miss a day at work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if he can get up in the driving fucking snow in Alaska, I can get up here and go to work. I can make those connections. But look, you're going to have to know how to play the game, and you have to make alliances with people. And I have done business with people who I don't particularly care for personally.
Sure.
But you know why? It was the right thing to do for the business.
Absolutely.
Put your feelings aside and do the business, because my kids are going to benefit from that connection later, or my family will benefit. Or you know what? There was a deal to be made that was a springboard from one deal to the next. You can't be in your feelings all the time. And if we're going to be real about it, you have to have a command of the English language. You have to be able to present yourself well. You have to understand business, and you have to have a track record of getting shit done. And if you have those things done, even the most ardent racists in the world will bet on you, because they're like, fuck, that guy's going to win.
Absolutely.
They're not going to be like, he's got all the qualities I like, but yada, yada, yada. Now, look, it may take an icebreaker. It may take someone to kind of clear that path. But if that guy still doesn't do it, guess what? There's other people who will.
Yeah, but here's what I think. You're saying it so fast. I think it needs to be, you're not saying it so fast, but I think there were some things that need to be summarized and taken away from there. Is that even if as a black man, and let's say, you're an 18-year-old young black man that's just getting started.
Yep.
What you're saying is that, you may not get the chance you're looking for the first time from somebody, but if you show up and possess all of the characteristics you just described, reliable, speaks well, understand, because what I took away from that, because my number one key to success is my ability to articulate my thoughts.
100%.
It's all communication.
The most important class I ever took in school was why my son took it. I literally went into his school this year, when his freshman year in high school, went to his counselor and said, take this class away, put him in a public speaking class.
Huge.
The most important class I ever took in school was public speaking.
Yeah, it's huge. How else do you navigate the world?
Well, that's the thing.
The most powerful tool we have is our voices.
Even guys who are
brains.
full of shit. Even guys who are full of shit, they can command a room. Like, you've seen guys who are that's like I've been to real estate conventions. I'm like, this guy's clearly full of shit. And people are standing up, clapping hands. I'm like, are you guys kidding me?
This guy's,
look, and then here's the other thing: listen to sources that you wouldn't listen to. Like, what I mean is, Tucker Carlson's a perfect example.
Yep. He's an expert communicator as well.
That's why I listen to him.
Yeah, that's why I like him too.
Not because I agree with him.
You watched that Putin interview?
Yep.
I don't give a shit about Putin.
Look,
but tell me that he wasn't a master at navigating those 100% questions around Tucker.
Listen, same thing with Donald Trump. I recently saw Dana White. Dana was making a comment about why he supports Donald Trump. And I know he's polarizing, right? And by the way, I read all of his books. I don't agree with him and a lot of the things that he says.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean I'm not going to listen.
Sure.
Right?
Why? You might learn something. Why not?
You're going to learn something.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to like him. Or even agree with him.
Right. But you're going to learn, right?
You ain't going to leave dumber.
So
you can do that with dumb people.
100%.
If you listen to dumb people,
let them speak.
You're not going to leave dumber.
Nope.
You might learn something.
You'll be like, that's how I recognize a dumb person right there. Right?
You learned something.
Right? That's how, right? So when I heard him say, he said, look, man, when we were first starting, we couldn't get a venue for the UFC with the Fertittas and Dana. But Donald Trump was the first one to kind of open his doors. And now when Donald Trump calls you back years later and says, hey, would you open for me at the Republican National Convention or what have you? Dana's like, I'm going to support my guy because he was there for me when no one else was.
Yep.
That's man shit right there.
That's man shit.
Now, that has nothing to do with my political leanings. I don't really have anyone to vote for because I'm fairly liberal socially and fiscally. I believe in free market enterprise.
Me, exactly. So I'm incredibly liberal socially. I don't care if you're black, if you're gay, if what your religion is.
Not my business.
If you want an abortion, that's not my issue.
Yeah, 100%. You can, hey man.
I just don't want to be overtaxed.
Yes,
and I don't want to be controlled.
My number one question for anyone would be like, hey, for every dollar I earn, how much should I be allowed to keep? Like that's my. The second thing is you can fight, fuck, do whatever you want. Just don't hand me the bill for it.
Sure.
You pay your way, do your thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna look. It's like the bathroom thing. When people are, oh my god, the bathroom. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Okay, so here's how you handle the trans thing in the bathroom. We're gonna hold everyone to the same standard. Trans, straight, gay, puppet, whatever you think you are, whatever you identify as, that's cool. But if you act inappropriately in the bathroom, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you.
Absolutely. If I walked into a bathroom,
if I walk in the bathroom and you're doing anything inappropriately,
no.
I don't care if you're straight or not.
Yep.
And you're not, you don't
Right.
go in
It
the
doesn't matter
bathroom,
what you
I
are.
don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If you're in there and you're touching yourself or doing something, exposing yourself, you're going to get your ass kicked.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
Yeah.
So guess what? Everyone's even. By the way, trans people have been around for a long time and they've been using the restrooms. I don't know if people know this, but it's not like a new thing. Right. And who are you? Like, are you the guy under the stall looking, checking? Bro,
right.
Go to the restroom, handle your business, wash your hands, get out.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
Why is this such a big deal?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. It's not, and then who people are like, we're obsessed with who people are fucking in this country. Well, who people sleep with.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. Like, as long as you're not, I was raised around criminals, real criminals, gangsters.
Right.
And there's a couple rules. One, you don't talk about how a guy earns his money.
Okay.
You don't talk about who a guy's fucking unless the guy owes you money or he's fucking someone that you're fucking. Then you can talk to him about it.
Okay.
Other than that, it's not your business.
Right.
You shut the hell up.
Those are some good rules.
Those are good rules to follow. It's not my business. That's why I have an ulcer, because I know when to say I don't give a fuck. It's not my business, right? It's like it's not my. I worry about me and mine, and I worry about what lessons that I'm teaching my son via my actions.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect at all. I've been flawed as a husband, flawed as a human, flawed as a dad. Look, all you can do is learn from it, and go forward and try to be the best. But your fruit, especially my thing is, I don't care about any monetary thing. There's nothing that's inanimate in my life that I love. I don't love anything that can't love me back. Some people are like, oh, I love my car. No, I like my car. If someone offered me enough money for my car and I could make a profit, I would sell that bitch today and go get an Uber to the lot and go buy another one.
Of course.
Because I don't love the car. It doesn't love me back.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Right. But your relationships matter, right?
Yeah.
The time that you spend here and leaving footprints. I always talk about people like, what is the scuttlebutt about you when you walk out of the room? Are people like, man, I'd like to hang out with that guy?
Right.
You know, if that guy brings me a business idea,
yeah.
I'm gonna listen to it. You know why? Because he's a thinker and he's had success in other businesses, or he's had success, or you know what? He's just a good dude. Because I'm at a point in life, I'm gonna be 50 this year. I don't hang out with anybody I don't want to be around.
That's beautiful.
I don't have to be.
No.
Like it's like sorry. Like we do business together, that's cool. But as far as the social shit, if I don't like you, you'll know. Because I never answer your calls. You go to fucking voicemail every single time. And that, like, so after about the 100th call, you're like, oh, this guy never picks up his phone. And I don't even have a voicemail set up on my phone. Like, you cannot leave me a message.
You know what I did on my voicemail? Is I said, please do not leave a voicemail here. Please text me what you need.
100%.
Because what was happening, my voicemails were blowing
ridiculous.
Up with spam. So
bullshit.
now I know if I get a voicemail, it was spam.
Yep.
And I know that if they didn't text me, it wasn't that
I
important.
don't know you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and that's how you eliminate.
And then I'm not caught off guard. You know what I'm saying? These people be like, hey, Josh, it's so-and-so, call me back. And then I call them back and I'm not prepared for the conversation. And now I'm not in a power of
talking on the phone should be to communicate simple ideas, concepts quickly.
Yeah.
I don't need to pick up the phone and be like 7 years ago, bullshit. What do you want?
Yeah.
Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. How can I help you?
Yep. Let's quickly establish
Let's go. Boom,
it.
boom, 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 boom.
Sure.
Let's get in a good, because I want to be on the phone with you all the time because I have shit to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got stuff to do. Like you get to a point where you start to prioritize. When you realize that you have 80 summers, you know, and anything after that is stealing. Then you start to say, well, shit, I'm 50. I got 30 summers left.
Yeah.
So how do I want to spend them?
You know where I apply that? I apply with my kids, but I never applied it the way you just did.
Yeah.
Like to myself.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. I always say I have 18 summers with my children.
Yeah.
How many do I have left?
Yeah.
But fuck, I never did it with myself.
With your life,
80.
You have 80. Like, and then you can get more, you stole, but that's cool. But 80 summers is about what we get. So my thing is like, what do you want to do with your summers? How do you want to spend them? Do you want to spend them bullshitting around people that you're never learning from? Sure. I don't want to be the smartest guy in the room I walk in. I hate being the guy that, like, I don't want to be the wealthiest guy in the room. I want to be around people who I can continue to learn from, who will push me to become better.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when I have mentors who grab me and say, hey, look, finally we got serious about social media this last year.
Yeah.
Because I was totally dicking around with it.
Me too.
Like,
It's a very similar journey. I've been in business for 18 years.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago, I took social media seriously and didn't realize just how important and powerful of a tool it was that I was not utilizing. And
you have to be like willing to piss people off.
Yeah. Yeah. You got
like this whole thing, like people are like, oh, you can get canceled. I'm like, you can cancel shit. I can fight. Yeah. I will punch you. Yeah. Like, so like fuck being canceled. Like, you cancel what? You want to cancel me because I'm telling you the truth or something you don't like? That makes you a coward. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to call you out for it.
The only time I think you get canceled, and I've had to think this through in the event that it happens, so I'll share it back and maybe curious what your thoughts are, is if you immediately start apologizing. What I have found is that they call you out and then you buckle, even though that was what you genuinely meant. Now, there's one thing where like you spoke totally inappropriately or whatever it is, but that wouldn't be either one of us because we're too skilled to do that.
Right.
But if I did misspeak, or if I, whatever I did speak, is if I backtrack it, then
Can't
they
do it.
attack harder.
You gotta stand
They're
on
like,
it.
see, look, told you. Now he's, and they just keep going. It's when you pull a Dana White. Dana White goes, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
No, and I love it. So this
And then
is
all
the
of a
thing.
sudden, because they're all spineless people.
Well, because here they're like, well, what about your reputation? Fuck my reputation.
Fuck that. Yeah.
Like, this is my reputation.
Right.
I'm standing on it.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
so that's one of the reasons why I respect Dana so much. Right. Like Dana can be polarizing.
Sure.
But here's the thing. You're not going to leave a conversation with him feeling as though he bullshitted you.
No.
Like, whether you agree with him or not,
Yeah.
you're like, that's his opinion. And he's going to tell you what it is, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Because that's a dude I can roll with. That's a dude I can have a beer with, even if we don't agree on it. Same thing about Rogan. Rogan, I always tell people, just don't bore me.
Sure.
Do whatever you want, don't bore me. Rogan's not boring. I don't
No.
agree with everything he says. Sometimes he says goofy shit, but look, man, that's a very bright guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he's doing shit. He's like this. Things are
Incredibly
calculated.
bright. Yeah.
So when I see people who respond emotionally to some of the stuff that he says, I'm like, you don't see what's going on. Like, I was in a unit called PSYOP, Psychological Operations, for 8 years. Right, our entire goal was to win the hearts and minds of the enemy without firing a shot. That was our entire mission. Right, don't fire a shot, win their hearts and minds. How do you do that? You find out what their needs are, you find out what their beliefs are, and you cater to those needs and beliefs.
Did they teach you that there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was part like, yeah, for sure. It's one of those things that, like,
Will
depending
you
on what you're
repeat that
talking
again?
about. Yeah. So our entire
do you do
job, it was to win the hearts and minds of the enemy without firing a shot at them. Right.
Okay.
So what does that mean? So we'll go in with, like, we're usually attached to a civil affairs group, civil affairs and psyops. You go in and you say, hey, you know what? This village here, they don't have water.
Yeah.
Can we solve this water problem for them? Yeah, let's solve their water problem. Army Corps of Engineers comes. Now you got some wells going. We got clean water. You know what? They have a medicine problem. Can we get them some medicine? Yeah. So now, next thing you know, we're seen as a source of help,
Sure.
not just soldiers with guns.
Yeah.
Look, now there's some other more cryptic things that happen that come from that as well. But these are just ideas, like dropping leaflets on them and letting them know, hey, look, when you see a soldier, we're here to help. We're not here to shoot you.
Yeah.
These sort of things. And then learning the cultural norms of different environments and
respecting them.
you have to respect them.
Sure.
Like,
you want to talk about pissing a culture
hey man,
off. Yeah.
you can't look. You need to know that sometimes I tell people all the time. Hey,
It's a
man,
strategy again, even in business. To your point earlier,
100%. Like, if I know what cultural things happen in Filipino households, I know because I've grown up in them. I know, like when we go out to a restaurant and people hand my Filipino cousins chopsticks, I'm like, we don't eat with chopsticks in the Philippines. What's wrong with you?
You just offended him.
Right.
Right.
Like, go
or
take
just
that shit
shows
away.
how little
Like,
you
take that
know
shit
about
away.
them.
Like,
right.
get out of here. Like, and people are like, well, what's the big deal? No. When people say, well, I don't see race, of course you do. I want to know where your ethnic background is.
Yeah.
I want to know your cultures.
Yeah.
I want to know your music.
Yeah.
I want to know what foods you like. I want to tell me about you.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm judging you because of those things, but I'm learning about you.
Yeah.
That's great. Good. So now I learn more things about a different culture. Now I can go in and sing their songs and eat the food and learn to dance and learn the superstitions and learn. Look, you better know, as a realtor, you better know that. As a realtor, you better know
Oh, yeah.
what
Yeah.
cultures. You better know, hey, if I'm dealing with a Chinese family who's into feng shui, the address numbers are going to matter. The
Yep.
numbers could be wrong, and they won't even. They
The
can love
location
the
of
house.
the staircase
They're like,
matters.
yep.
Yeah.
The door faces
Yeah.
west. Can't do it.
Yep.
You better know that going in, or you're going to waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
But when you tell them, hey, by the way, I've taken into consideration, I took all these doors facing west out. By the way, I know the numbers don't work for you here. So I've isolated this group that fit within your requirement, but also your feng shui belief. How much more are you going to now bond with your
The
client?
value is through the roof.
Insane.
Insane.
Because they know you're taking the time to
Yep.
learn about them.
Yeah.
So when people say stupid shit like, I don't see race, what they're trying to do is make sure it's like a big, I'm not a racist.
Right.
But that's not the appropriate commentary.
I think the appropriate. Go ahead.
Yeah, the appropriate commentary is, I see you. I know exactly who you are. And if I don't know, I'm going to learn about you. And I respect you as a human being enough to learn about your culture so that we can continue to build a friendship and do business together based on mutual respect.
That's the statement right there. I do see race, and I'm totally fascinated.
Yes.
Tell me about how
Yes.
you guys operate.
Yes.
Tell me what music you
100%.
like. Tell me what you do at family gatherings.
Yes.
Like, I'm learning my CFOs of super Greek.
Yeah.
And they break plates. They'll
Yes.
go buy
Opa.
plates.
100%.
Like, that ain't just some movie shit. Like, up
That's
here in
a
Summer in the
thing.
backyard,
No, that's
they
a
roll
thing.
up with $100 plates.
Yeah. Went to the dollar store.
Yeah.
Just bought all these
And
plates.
they,
Let's break them.
but to your point, just being fascinated in people.
Listen, I think that if we did more of that, then all this stuff goes away because now you're starting to see the similarities more than the differences.
Sure.
Oh, like this is like this. Oh, yeah. Like,
Or how cool. Even if it's not similar, it's like it's an eye opener. Wow,
100%.
that's awesome.
I am the first non-Chinese person in my wife's entire family lineage. I was the first outsider. My kids are the first biracial kids in the entire family lineage. It was different. My wife's an immigrant. They came here. They don't speak English in the house. They speak Cantonese in the house. My wife's second language is English. So when people ask my kids, well, what are you? They're like, well, I'm first generation American. My dad's American. My mom is foreign. I'm Blasian, right? Blasian nation, right? Blasian nation, right? So they're very proud of their heritage, and we teach them both. We teach them both, and we teach them the similarities, and we teach them the differences, and they know it. It's important for them to know it. So now when they go to someone else's house, they're listening and understanding where they're from. What are their cultures? Yeah. What are they doing? Like, you need to know that, oh, I get invited to a quinceañera. Okay. Mexican quinceañera, Spanish quinceañera, Cuban quinceañera, which one? Because it changes things. I need to know the dialect is different between Cuban and Dominican Republic. The words mean different things there. The music means different things. All that shit's African, by the way. It's
all rooted back
samba,
there.
Salsa, all those dances, merengue, those are all African love dances. All of them. Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic are some of the blackest places you've ever seen in your life. They're African based. The food, the Congo drum is literally named from the Congo. Like so there's none like you can't. I tell people there's everything connected. It all
How
comes
the
back.
fuck do you know all this stuff?
Study, read.
You go out and seek the information.
You have to because look, I start with the premise that in America, as a black man, I was not educated to know about my people.
So do you think that was a motivator for you, that I want to be 100. The opposite of what people will believe I am just based on what they see on the outside?
I think
because you're incredibly fast. You'd be a fascinating anybody. You know what I'm saying?
I try to like get along well with people and understand, but I also understand like loving your culture and loving your people does not come at the negative to other people's culture, right? Like you can't love I love my culture, I love my people, but I don't love my culture and people more than I respect Italian culture, or more so than I respect Hawaiian culture. I'm fascinated by these things. Yeah. I'm fascinated by the similarities, and I'm fascinated by the people and the connections. And so to me, it just makes more sense to know about your people. But the way the United States has taught black folks about our culture, and by the way, to that extent, white kids have also learned improper things about our culture. They don't know about. I mean, how many of my friends don't know about Black Wall Street? They didn't know about.
They never
even heard of it.
Yeah.
They never heard of Black Wall Street being burned down to the ground. They never.
I'm actually lightly fascinated. If you want to dive into it briefly,
sure, yeah,
or lengthily,
yeah,
what do you mean when you say that? Like there was a whole financial district that was ran by the black community
post slavery, one generation out.
I feel like an idiot for not knowing. Maybe I should know.
No,
okay,
you don't know. But then you get asked at the end of this, say why. Why won't they tell us these things? So about a generation after slavery, black townships had popped up all over the United States. In fact, Central Park was one. Central Park was a black enclave. Central Park in New York. Yeah. And so what happens, we have black lawyers and doctors and business owners and the whole bit. We had our own taxi cab companies and bus companies, the whole bit. Towns were going well. And what happened? Well, there was white mobs came and said, you know what? These Negroes are living too well. Burned it to the ground. Used airplanes and the whole bit. This happened repeatedly. Okay. And so why? Because the concept of the mentality of a lot of poor whites then was scarcity, not abundance.
Sure.
But that even happens today. That's what's killing people today. They think of a scarcity mentality instead of there's an abundance.
And many humans.
Yes.
Sure.
Right. And so
I don't operate in that space, but I did it one time and I learned from it.
Bro, then listen, there was a time where I was like, if I can make $40,000 a year, this would be great.
It was the greatest lesson I'd ever had. It was a business relationship I had, and I taught him everything that I knew. Yeah. And when he left, it had obviously triggered like abandonment issues and all that other shit that you have as a
sure.
But the biggest thing was I was afraid that because he knew everything I knew that he could hurt my business, and so I operated really irrationally from that headspace, which was scarcity, not abundance.
Right.
But what was so crazy is 2 years later, I looked over at him. He was moving up the mountain in his trolley. I looked down in the trolley I was in, and I was moving up my mountain in my trolley.
And everybody's good.
And I learned right then and there, and I think it was a lesson that God needed to put into my life to serve me for the next 65, 70 years, that I don't give a fuck who's in my sphere.
It doesn't matter.
We can all keep moving.
Bro, if you're walking in your
It's
path,
wasted energy to come from any other space than abundance.
if you're walking in your path and your light, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you start to find your voice or what you were born to do, right? And people are like, oh my God, you know, they watch our videos and they see me coaching and I'm like, they're like, yeah, this is what you should be doing. Yeah, I coach for a living and I teach people. More importantly, I teach people to stand up for themselves. Stand up. I've always been that way. Like I hated bullies. I moved around so much that I used to get bullied all the time.
I got in trouble for defending people that were getting bullied.
So I developed the strategy very early. Like, all right, when I moved into a new place, I would find the bully. And we're going to work this out one of two ways. I'm going to kick the shit out of you right now, or you're going to kick the shit out of me right now, or we're going to agree to be friends right now. Right. But I'm not waiting for you to come find me. I'm going to find you. I'm going to make it very obvious that you now, what we had an equalizer, the great equalizer with sports. Right, so once we get on the football field, like I played football growing up, we got on a football field, all that shit went away because now we were just men out there running around, flying around, and then it's like, oh, I can run around and smack you here. So like, so once you kind of establish that, now off the field, all of a sudden, there's a little bit more, there's more doors open. But I also saw that I could use my athletic ability to get to places where a lot of people could not get to. There were a lot of doors open for me as an athlete that would not have been open had I not had prowess on the field. Sure. And I had not learned how to communicate with my teammates and do those things. I had to do the work.
I think that's a representation of a lot of stuff because there's a lot of naturally athletic people out there that don't use it. No. But when you do use it, it really shows the character of the person.
It's a total package.
That opens the doors.
100% because people will believe in you, right?
Yeah,
so
I would.
So I had a partner when I first started the gym and that kind of fell apart. And at the time, we had gone through BK. My wife and I had gone through BK. So I couldn't go into a bank and go get a loan, but I was like, I'm going to separate from this guy. So he was banking on the fact that, well, you can't get funding without me. So he thought that was keeping me there. And I'm like,
curious to hear this story.
Cool. So I said, all right, listen, I called my one wealthy client that I had. He was very, very wealthy. I've never asked him for a dime the entire time. I called him up. He's at Starbucks, and I would never forget this. I say, what's up, man? He goes, hey, what's going on, bro? I say, hey, man, I need some money. And he's like, for what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to separate from my partner and go and do my thing. He's like, fucking awesome. That's great. I said, yeah. He goes, well, how much do you need? I'm like, I need like 80,000, 80 to 85,000. He's like, well, where are you right now? I'm like, Mom, I'm at the gym. And he's like, okay, I'll come by in 20 minutes. So I figured like he's going to come by. We're going to talk about blah, blah, blah. Right. All right. He comes in. He hands me a couple of Starbucks, shakes my hand, hugs me, he says, congratulations. Go do well. Gives me a cashier's check for $85,000, turns and walks out. Never asked me for a signature, doesn't. I'm like, hey, what about interest rate? He's like, no interest, don't worry about it. Just pay me back. I said, well, can I start paying you in 60 days? He's like, yeah, that's fine. Good. So in about 14 months, I had him paid back, right? I paid him back 14 months later. And it was all on just my word and my favor that I had earned with him because he saw me grinding every day. Right? Because I'm there every day.
At the office.
100%. Yeah. So the biggest lessons that I learned from that is if you're consistent with your effort and you're consistent with your presentation of it doesn't matter. People see it. Yeah. By the way, that's the same reason people hate you. Oh, like, yeah. And by the way, and I love haters. Like I have we have people, like I told an idiot the other day, I'm like, he came up as one of our top fans on social media, but this guy's always negative. And I'm like, you're a fan. I'm not a fan. Look, you just got denoted top fan. That means you come here every day. You hate this so much that you have to come here and say it every day. You're a fan. I'm gonna send you a T-shirt. What's your?
I love it.
So he literally was like, "What?" I'm like, "Let me send you a T-shirt. What's your address?" He gives me an address. He's like, "But you're not gonna send me a T-shirt." I send him a note, T-shirt, blah blah blah. Thank you for contributing. I really appreciate your feedback online. Boom. Now he's wearing a T-shirt. He's not negative anymore. He's same thing. So it's like, why did I do that? Why would I waste time with that? Because you turn an enemy into an asset. That's PsyOps 101. Yeah. Now, I can always kill him. Like that's always the thing. It's like, but then there's a trail of bodies and it gets messy.
There's a lot more energy there.
Well, that too.
It takes a lot more energy to kill somebody.
Respect lasts longer than fear.
Yeah, that too.
Like people will fear you only for a while. Yeah. But then they respect. It's like your son is only going to be afraid of you for so long. Yeah. But he'll always respect you. Yeah. If you do it right.
If you do it right.
If you do it right. If you want to be a dickhead.
And you establish that young.
You have to establish that from jump. Like
because you can't control him after that. You got to just bank on respect.
Yes. And I have to also let him sink or fail, right? Yeah. Like he's got to sink or swim on his own. I'll be there to help save him. Yeah. But
take me back to, because you're teaching me something here. Yeah. So, to your point, this is me being just who I am.
No.
I'm interested. So tell me about, so what do you think Okay, so the white man,
Yeah.
is that the appropriate term, I guess?
No, I think so. The white man is for the establishment. So the establishment meaning the government.
white mob, the mob. What'd
Yeah,
you call
so the
them?
white mob. So
Okay.
you got to remember back in this.
Are
is
you
not,
referencing a group of people with ill intent, or was
Yes.
it literally like the white mob?
No, this is like not the white mafia. No,
Okay.
I'm talking about
Got it. A mob
Yeah,
of
mob.
shitheads.
Yeah, yes.
Got it.
Yes.
So they were operating from a space of scarcity,
Correct.
thinking that, oh my gosh, if they win, I'm going to lose.
100%.
Okay.
And so now what it means is like, well, we can't let them live like that. You know, well,
Yeah.
we're gonna go burn it down. And that's what happened. And it happened. It's a scene that repeated itself across the country.
I'm going to go
multiple
get
times.
educated on this. I'm
You'll-
sure
you'll
there's
see it,
YouTube
it'll be
videos
like-
and stuff. Yeah.
And this was the beginning of redlining, by the way. This was where redlining came from. This whole concept was redlining wasn't a bunch of homeowners getting together saying we don't want black people living here. It was the United States government that said, yeah, you know what? This is this area. This is redlined. Don't let these people move here, or it'll mess up your property value.
Yeah.
So then the government supported that. So it's government supported economic terrorism. That's
Totally.
what it is.
Absolutely.
So we can look at that on the line. In fact, there's a family that just, I think it's Long Beach, in Long Beach, California. They just got back their property rights from the state because it was a black family that went and bought a parcel in Long Beach because black people were not
From
allowed
many
to,
years ago, I assume.
So they
Okay.
bought it. So the black people weren't allowed to swim. It was segregated.
Oh my God.
Segregated swimming. You couldn't go to the beach.
What?
Oh, dude, check it. There was a green book.
This just shows how little I'm fascinated in that
So then when
space. I'm
people
just
talk about,
easy.
that's
Yeah,
why I
I
tell
don't-
people all the time, people don't know how deep this shit is. I always tell people, you know what?
But you don't come from the headspace of victimhood. You're just describing,
I'm telling you what it is.
yeah, what it is.
I'm telling you what it is.
Okay.
Look, my people are so awesome. We've overcome all that shit. And we're still here.
There you go.
So
See,
fuck what
there
you're
you
talking
go.
about.
Yes, that's
And
the
by the way,
headspace.
here's the thing: we're a new generation. I'm not
love
going to
it.
hold hands and sing "We Shall Overcome." I'll fuck you up. Like if you want to be an asshole and you want to try and stop me and say, and you're gonna, make it a racial thing or what have you. Be prepared for a fight. Be prepared. I'm not praying in front of my neighbor and turning the other cheek. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Like I'm gonna use all my economic prowess, my business connections, and my physical prowess to make you not want any part of that smoke.
I love it.
And that's that's the American way,
Sure.
right? So
That's alpha shit.
literally,
And
it's what
that's what
Malcolm X was talking about. Malcolm X talked about this. He said, "Listen, when it comes to self-defense, it's intelligence.
Yeah.
Why do I have to turn the other cheek? Why don't you stop hitting me?
Right.
I'm not turning the other
Right.
cheek. If I turn the other cheek, it's because I'm coming back with a counter.
That's my point about the cancel thing. When you turn
Well,
the cheek,
I'm not turning-
stop,
yeah.
please stop hitting it. That's that apologize. Punch them back.
It's the same thing I
You
would
punch
tell,
them back
I
and
would
they
tell the
stop.
trans community. You know what the problem with the argument with LGBTQ right now is? It's not that they're like, well, we're victims. Okay, are there roving bands of people going around attacking trans people? Because if there are, we need to find them and kick the shit out of
Sure.
them and stop them.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
We will hunt them down and deal with them appropriately.
Yep.
But stop seeking acceptance from people who don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't
dude, if you're
force
trans,
yourself onto me.
that's cool. No,
Yeah,
if you're
you wanna do
trans,
you,
cool.
have at it.
That's and if that guy doesn't like it, fuck him. Like,
Yeah.
go live your life. Like go do your thing. Like, why is that an issue?
Yeah.
Why do people make a big deal of it? You know why? Because everyone wants to be liked.
Sure.
And I think that's
Attention,
the biggest
approval, and acceptance.
attention whoring is out of control.
Yeah.
That's why you see this bullshit online. Like even these red pill dudes online, like these guys who are like they're berating women for being on OnlyFans and stuff like this. And I'm like, why do you care?
I don't give a fuck.
Like,
I actually think that if these girls are providing for themselves and providing abundantly,
man.
have at it.
Hey, listen, I'm not here to judge people, where people go. Well, my issue is this: when I see in some of these guys are really cool. I like them, but some of them I'm getting dork vibes. And what I mean by this is you didn't do
What was
shit.
the term?
Dork.
Okay,
You're
dork.
a fucking
Yeah.
dork. You never played sports. You never really did anything.
Yeah.
You got out. You got yourself a little bit of money, and now you're going to, wave your collective fingers at people who are maybe making in different situations who have to make different decisions about their life.
Sure.
Instead of being a dick and tearing them down, maybe just either you could always not say anything. You could just ignore it and keep it moving. Like if you're not into chicks who are on OnlyFans, cool. Don't be into them.
Yeah. And
Shut,
just keep it
shut
moving.
up and keep it moving. Why are you berating them? Like
Sure.
why? Like I don't get it.
Yeah. That's for views.
And they do it for views and they do it for
shock value.
Yeah, and I get it, but to me it's I don't know. It's a lot of wasted energy on bullshit.
Yeah.
Like at the same time I'm not into polite lies. I'd rather the hard cold truth. I mean, look, people have to deal with these things. I want every black person to know if you don't do something with life will do something with you.
Yeah.
I want every black person to know and we're better about this, by the way. We are getting better about it. Our numbers are improving. More black people live above the medium, what they call middle class now than ever before.
The median income.
Median income, but also in the middle class. There are more black in the middle. More black,
the middle class.
In the middle
Okay,
class
got
and
it.
thriving.
Yeah.
And black women are the highest educated group of people in the United States. More college degrees per capita in that group than any other. So we have a lot of things going on. There's some things that the fights that we need to have, though, are not the same fights of our grandparents. Sure. Our grandparents, God bless them, but they fucked up. The civil rights movement was backwards. It was wrong economically. Here's what I mean by that. We should not have been fighting to sleep in white hotels. We should have been fighting to build our own hotels.
Yeah. Right.
We should have been
You're fighting the wrong fight.
That's the wrong fight.
It's the wrong fight.
By the way.
No, go create your own. That's
100%.
Sleeping in my hotel is not going to make you wealthier.
Right.
No. Building your own and owning it and renting it to the other people in your community.
We become viable at that point.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, the Stop Asian Hate bill, that thing went from idea to fruition in a month.
Right.
The Black Hate Bill, anti-black has been for 60 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you
I
know
feel
why,
like the
though?
government's just out to
Well,
fuck
if that's
you
part
guys.
of it,
I hate to say that.
It's part of it, but the other part is
I'm going to get fucking roasted for saying that.
economically, Asians have made themselves viable. Here's what I mean by this. Like in San Francisco and Chinatown, the community there is so strong. They go to the police and say, "We need more Asian police officers in our in our neighborhood. We don't want X amount of white officers. We want more Asian officers because they understand the culture." Like, so they're not going to say, they understand how to communicate well with people. And by the way, there's a distrust between police and the community there, especially white faces and non-Asian faces. Yeah. Look, in Koreatown in LA, you can't be, I know black police officers that work down there. They can't get shit done down there.
Sure.
The Koreans won't talk to them. And
to your point in the beginning of this podcast is it's not productive, so why force it?
Let's
just put an Asian guy in, or a Korean guy in there
100%.
And be effective.
Don't find, like it's a lot of people talk about affirmative action. I always laugh. I'm like, affirmative action since affirmative action has been a thing, it has not changed black lives at all. Black unemployment has always been double that of white people. Always. It still has under affirmative action. It never changed. So what was the purpose? Who grew during affirmative action? Who benefited from it? White women. Their numbers skyrocket. Do you know why? Because they were a protected class under affirmative action. Women are a protected class. So their numbers skyrocketed. Blacks stayed the same. So then you have black people who have achieved in corporate America, and then someone will look at them and go, "Oh, that's an affirmative action."
I got to ask you this because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
And you got my wheels spinning. I wish we had more time. Let me ask you something. So, if with everything that you're describing, a lot of it has been government, government created, and then implemented.
Yes.
Okay. I have seen that too, and it's unfortunate. And I'm the first to say it's unfortunate. This is an education question, not an implication question. Is it the Democrat Party that is creating this, or is it both parties?
Right.
Because I feel like I'm going to get the honest answer out of you. If I go and watch Fox News, they're going to say it's the Democrats. If I watch CNN, they're going to say it's the Republicans. Who's actually creating this culture, or not this culture? These rules that are being implemented in your culture.
It's a great question, and
thank you for being open to hearing me ask it and answer it.
No, it's a phenomenal question. It's probably one of the most important questions that people don't want to ask, because now you're asking people to pick sides. And here's what I'm going to tell you about the Democratic Party.
Maybe it's both. I don't know.
It is both.
Okay.
It's a structure issue. First of all, the structure of the system.
Okay.
I mean our government, right? So it is a structure. And there's always the infighting and all the bullshit that happens with the Republicans and the Democrats. And then they're laughing at all of us, right?
Yeah, of course.
So the door's closed.
100%.
So you have one group in Democrats who push programs instead of prosperity.
Yep. Well, that's what I see. If I may, so I don't get too far. This is, but don't lose your thought, please. I have tenants on Section 8.
Yeah.
Okay. They will tell me, "Hey, Josh," on the side, "Hey, Josh," and I don't accept these guys because I don't want to get in trouble with the government.
Sure.
These applicants, I really make like $1,700 a month, but I can only tell Section 8
because they'll lose the benefit.
$1,500 a month. So, but my whole point is, so you hear that message, and then me as an entrepreneur with big thinking mind, and I'm like, oh my God, you poor soul. You're literally capping your ability to go and create a beautiful life for yourself so that you can hold on to this $1,500 a month. I think Section 8 should go, here's $1,500 for your housing, and we encourage you, when you hit $90,000 a year, we'll pull it back.
Yeah.
Like that would encourage prosperity. Instead, they're like, if you make $1 more, we take the whole thing.
Correct. So the government was never.
Who fucking made that deal?
So the government is not set up to solve a problem that it benefits from. The government benefits in our capitalistic, country. There must be a lower class of people. There must be.
Okay.
The poor are essential.
Sure.
So then here's what happened. You had free labor with slaves, and then you said, okay, well, you know what? No, slavery's, we're not going to do that. But now then, you got the 13th Amendment, which allows people still to be imprisoned and working for pennies on the dollar and all this other crazy shit that happens. Right. So then that's a structural issue. So then the Democrats have always been like, you know what? We want their vote. And that started in the civil rights movement, right? That started, like Lyndon B. Johnson said it. I'll have these Negroes voting Democrat for 100 years if you give them stuff. And if you teach the lowest white man that the black man is beneath him, he'll open his wallet and give you his last dime just to hold on to his space. So think about this. In America, people come and they're always reaching to hold on to a space. Okay. Immigrants coming in here and they know one group of people that they can always look down upon. It's black people, period. They are all taught this. If they're honest. Sure. If they're honest, they're taught this. And I'm even talking about, like, I have black friends from Egypt who came from Egypt who marked that they were black and were told at the immigration office, oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. That's not good. And they're like, huh? But I'm black. Yeah, but you're not black. You don't want to be those blacks.
Oh, my God.
Look, man, this is the thing. And it's not. So when I tell black people this, I'm like, look, you know how you insulate yourself from this? You do what the Asians have done. The Asian people don't give a fuck about American holidays. Chinatown's open on Christmas.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Chinatown's open on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So you know when they're closed? Chinese New Year. They're closed.
On their day.
On their day.
Right.
You know why? Because they've insulated themselves from it. They don't need to go outside to get doctors. They don't need to go outside to get lawyers. They don't need to go outside to get schools, hospitals. No, it's all insulated. If they choose to go outside, that's okay. And if we choose to go there and partake, we can. Yeah. They're not standing at the door saying that we can't come in. I've never been kicked out of a place in Chinatown. No. Never. They've always taken my money with a smile.
Absolutely.
Okay? So what I'm saying is that why don't we build our own thing like that? Yeah. So now look, when Elijah Muhammad back in the day, when Elijah Muhammad suggested this, black people turned against Elijah Muhammad. Martin Luther King, before he was killed, do you know who was the most hated man in the country? Was Martin Luther King. Not only white people, but black people. The Democratic Party basically paid off black churches not to have him come speak there anymore. But you know why? Because he was starting to sound a little bit like Elijah Muhammad. When he was like, maybe I integrated our people into a burning house. That was the danger zone. And by the way, this is why I tell people, this is how you know that Obama, I have a lot of respect for the way he conducted himself as a man and as a family man, putting his family through that on the largest stage, on the biggest microscope in the world. Sure. I don't care what his politics were. That was ballsy and the whole bit. But the reason why you know he was somewhat of a puppet is he's fucking alive. In the United States, if you are black and you are a threat to the system, they will fucking kill you or lock you up.
Ooh, that's a fucking heavy statement.
That's why Jesse Jackson is a puppet. That's why Al Sharpton is a puppet. Yeah. These are clowns. Yeah. Black people don't listen to these people. Every time they come on, it's going to be the same old Negro spiritual bullshit. And listen, we don't want to hear that shit. To your question, though, are the Democratic Party responsible for it? Yes, because they peddle programs instead of prosperity. Yeah. But here's where the Republicans are fucking up. Yeah. They can't come and say, black people, listen, we want to elevate the strongest and brightest of black people. Yeah. We're going to go to these banks that have been twisting this and say, no, you're going to fund these things because a healthy black economy is good for America. If black people were our own country, we'd be the 10th wealthiest country in the world based off of what we spend. The problem is we control nothing. We are contributing to the economy as consumers, but not producers and owners. Right. No, imagine if all we did was buy shit from other countries. We'd be bankrupt. Mm-hmm. You can't operate like that. Right. So it's the same problem with us. But what's the problem? If I truly believe the white Republican leadership is terrified of saying that because they're going to alienate a lot of their base who are like, well, if you're going to give that to them, what about me? Meanwhile, we're giving money. Like, how do we give money to the Ukraine? When did the fucking Ukraine ever give a dime to us? Right. Like, we're giving money to Israel. We're giving money to Ukraine. We give money to midgets in Sri Lanka and every place else. And then we look and we look at our American citizens sleeping on the sidewalk and say we don't have enough money for them.
Disgusting.
It's bullshit.
It's disgusting.
It's bullshit. And why? Because they benefit from it. Yeah. So, but here's a bigger challenge for my people. As soon as Latinos replace black people as the number one minority, we'll never listen to black people again. We're fucking done. And if black people don't wake up and get their shit together, that's what's going to happen. And why do you think the borders won't get closed? They're not closing the borders, number one, because the government is actively participating in the drug trade. They always have. They always have. Okay. And two, where do you think their next voting base is coming from?
Of course. 100%. That's why they're shipping them all the states that have no voter ID.
So, and what does that mean for us? Yeah. Look, I have no problem with families from Mexico and other places looking. If I was living down there and I knew I had to go north to feed my family, I would do it too.
Of course.
And I would come here and work my ass off just like this. I love mi gente. I love them. They're part of our culture. They're so important to our economy because they do the jobs that a lot of people don't want to do.
Yeah.
And they
They
work
don't
their
even have a
asses
skill
off.
set to do it.
100%. They don't want those jobs. So I say more power to them.
Sure.
But we have to come up with a way to those who want to become citizens. They should be able to hold their hands up without fear of being deported.
Yep.
Become citizens. We have an antiquated methodology of getting people from living in the shadows to living as tax-paying citizens.
Yeah, it'd be huge.
It's wrong.
It'd be great.
Huge. But you know why?
Great for the economy. Great for the tax
don't want-
base.
Again, the government is not interested in fixing a problem it benefits from.
Oh my goodness. Okay, the one thing that stuck out with me that was beautiful, man.
Thanks, man.
Good for you.
Appreciate
I mean, on a high level, you are fucking tuned up. You're a tuned up dude.
Oh man, thanks, man. I appreciate
Hey, but
it.
let me finish this, or I want you to repeat this part because this is what's going to stick with me. What is the message you want to send to the Black community to change the narrative? And I think, if I may, I don't want to have to say it because I want you to say it, but where you said entrepreneurial.
Yes.
Okay, finish.
So ownership and entrepreneurship. Ownership. Own land. Own your house.
Yep.
Own your life.
Yep.
Own a piece of a business. Hell, go in with your cousins and buy a small hot dog stand and turn that into 2. Like, invest in your education. You have $1,000 cell phone that has more technology on it than NASA had when we sent someone to the moon.
Yep.
That's the first thing. The second thing is you owe it to your family. You owe it to your legacy. And our ancestors did not survive. Listen, Black Americans are the toughest of the toughest and the smartest of the smartest Black people to ever roam the face of this earth. Why? Because we're the direct lineage of the people who survived that awful passage across the seas, made it in this country, and have still been here through all the bullshit that we've been through. You owe it to your family to stand up and do the right thing. You owe it to yourself. Stop fucking around and get busy. That's my message to Black people. And if you don't know how, find out how. Find a book. Pick up a book. Pick up some videos. Get off your phone or use your phone better, and promise you'll make money. There's no way you can't make money now in this economy.
Agreed.
Holy shit, let's get it.
It's easy.
And by the way, white people, y'all do the same shit too. Okay, like this isn't just a Black thing. Okay,
Where can they find you? Where can they
listen,
find you?
You can hit us up at LasVegasCombatAcademy.com. You'll see us online, same name, Las Vegas Combat Academy, on all of our social media. We're not on Twitter, but we're on Instagram.
Whatever, all the platforms.
Right, all the platforms.
Yeah.
Right. So check us out, and thank you guys for letting me come in and rant about, and talk about shit that's not fighting based.
Man, it was beautiful. I learned a lot.
No, man, I appreciate it. I'll come back anytime, brother.
All right,
anytime.
man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
anytime. Yeah, for sure.
Hey guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you guys want to learn more about the tools, tips, and tricks that I use on a daily basis to maintain my success, stay connected with me through all of my socials at I am Josh Galindo.